Welcome to another PLA podcast episode. And we have no other than an incredible guest I've been truly looking forward to interviewing for quite a long time. And I've known since even before my PLA journey through Next Level and CA and all of these other incredible programs. So, Siva, welcome to the PLA podcast. Lovely to have you on here today.
Thanks, Dunya. Thanks for having me here.
It's such a treat to have you. And for our guests who don't know Siva and his incredible heart, his dedication to his growth, and his beautiful journey, I'd love to formally introduce you as our guest today. So, meet Siva Janapati, technical architect and proven leader, driving digital transformation for Fortune 500 companies. Passionate about team building, technology, and solving real world problems through innovation. Currently focused on AI and its potential benefits for humanity. Aspires to grow into a director role and future entrepreneur. Actively shares knowledge through technical blogs, mentoring, and guiding teams on design and architecture. Siva, it's so lovely to have you on here. Welcome again to the PLA podcast.
Yeah. Thank you, Dunya. I'm excited to be part of this podcast.
Oh, it's such a treat to have you on here. And anybody who's gotten to know you knows your dedication, your hard work, and your commitment to your growth. And so it's an absolute privilege. And we're so excited to pick your brain and to get to know your story a little bit more and to share it with our audience today.
Yeah, my journey, I started from a village background where I studied in Telugu medium, which is not English, so it's a separate language. So I studied up to 12th standard in that medium. After that, I did my Bachelor of Engineering. Obviously, once we come to Bachelor of Engineering, which is going to be English medium, so I struggled with the language to understand the subjects, because so far almost 16 years I was studying in different language, and after that I moved to English because everything is going to be in English in engineering. So I struggled to understand the subjects in the 4 year, so I picked up all the subjects and I completed my Bachelor of Engineering in distinction. After that,
Cool.
again, it's kind of struggle because I was not having good communication skills, not able to interact with the people by looking at like A to A contact. So I was losing a lot of interviews. Then I realized, though I am technically good, I could not able to project whatever the learnings I have done as part of interviews. So I was losing so many interviews. I sat down and understood what is the problem, why I am having this much of problem with communication skills. Is that something can't we improvise? So that's when I found a couple of mentors to understand and how to communicate, because to communicate effectively you don't require a lot of vocabulary, or you don't require to be a native English speaker. Still you can effectively communicate, but you need courage. So I built that courage and I practiced a couple of the things, how exactly I need to communicate. So that's when I got my first job. After that I never looked back, because that same courage till today, whenever I am dealing with any team or any client or any stakeholder or any technology, so I showcase the same courage, because it's all like learning and implementing it and delivering the results and talking to the people. So that's what makes the difference. So there are no like people who born with this kind of intelligence. A lot of people will build that over the practice. So the more practice we do, the more elegant we come up with that particular area. So
Absolutely.
that's where I started my journey in writing my technical blogs. It's been almost 10 years. So I started to improvise my writing skills, because communication skills is not only just talking, giving presentations, it's about even sending emails so that there will not be any confusion to the people who are receiving that email communication or whatever. So writing is also one of the better communication skills. So I started writing my blog posts by expressing what I am learning, how the other community people can leverage my blog posts. So that's how I started. That journey is still going on. It's been more than a decade. So it improvised my thought process. When I am writing something, it's not like I am talking to the person on live. so that they can ask some questions, right? So it's writing is like I am writing it, somebody else is going to read offline, so they need to understand my thought process. So I need to structure the content so that that mindset shift while writing will improvise our communication skills. So that's where I came across all the way here.
That's the journey. That's the Siva journey. And I think there's some really key elements that you've brought up on your journey and your story. I think one of those big pieces is people don't realize the requirement that's necessary when someone has their entire background and history and upbringing in one language and is now faced to go through their education in a completely different language, and how much of a challenge that can be. But with that challenge comes a beautiful opportunity that if someone takes that challenge, then all of a sudden that ability and that muscle to face difficult situations and take them head on and to make the best of them is actually a muscle that's going to serve them for many years to come and actually the rest of their career. And that was like really where it all started for you, which I think is incredible. And I love how that piece where you shared on you can have the technical skills, but if you don't have the skills to communicate, then you actually will stay in some ways lodged or stuck at one level of your abilities and not allow yourself to grow to the next level.
Correct.
And
So
and
it's
the
not
last,
about,
yeah, what were you going to say, Siva?
yeah, it's not about knowledge.
Yeah.
We need to cater that knowledge to the audience,
Mm,
because when we are leading a team, you will see different experience levels. There will be some interns, there will be
yeah.
software engineers who are having 3 to 4 years of experience, there will be leads, there will be stakeholders, there will be like business partners who doesn't know about technology, but they wanted to know about the business and the value we are creating when we are solving a problem for a business by using technology. So if you don't have communication skills, so you, communicating across the spectrum of people is really tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And essential. And oftentimes is the difference between a successful project and an unsuccessful one.
Yeah,
Is how is, the entire ecosystem, the entire team able to truly communicate.
correct.
And I love that piece around your blogs and everything you've been writing for over a decade. I think that's been a passion project for so long, and I want to dig a little bit more into that. I want you to tell us a little bit more about how that all started. Where did that idea come from, and what has been? So, two questions: where did the idea come from, and what have you been able to do to keep the motivation to keep it alive for so long?
Yeah, so the idea came when I was working as a software developer, as an in one of the startup where I
Okay.
was closely working with a solution architect. So he started his technical blog. So when I first read, okay, fine, he came across all the way to solution architect and he is writing it. That time I started writing this technology blog as a journal for me, because I am also learning so many techniques and technologies. How can I document it
Mm,
so that tomorrow or few years later, if I wanted to go back and check, I should have some journal. So
mm,
if I write that in a notebook or physical paper, definitely I cannot refer it. So that's when I started my blog. I thought, okay, let me keep my technical journal here, and then I improvised it and people liked that when I was sharing it. My friends, everyone liked it. Okay, you are sharing this to the community and definitely people are going to benefit out of it.
mm,
And some technology forums like dzone.com, infoq.com, so these people also connected me saying that, okay, your blogs are really appealing, why don't we take that and publish it on our platform. So
incredible.
that's how I thought, okay, there is some momentum is coming, and the kind of writings I am writing is not just a technical journal. People are seeing some value out of it.
Yeah.
That's where these bigger platforms came forward and published in their platforms. And the same in India, there is Open Source for You, which is a monthly uh, printed magazine for technical people. So they also took some of my blog posts and they published in that printed magazine. So that's when I saw, okay, there is some kind of momentum is going on. And apart that, it's kind of muzzle. Maybe I built it,
Mm,
kind of consistent effort. So weekly once at least I was publishing the articles. If I was so busy with the work, at least monthly once I go and publish it. But I'm not giving up that. So
Oh,
that consistency, once it becomes habit. So now if I wanted to write a blog post with all the advancements with the technology, like grammatical mistakes and even the AI, so you have so much of support. But when
mm,
I started, I was not even aware of those tools, as well as those tools were not even available.
yeah.
So now only my thought process is going to be there, and
Mm,
I leverage these tools. So within 2 or 3 hours, I come up with an use case, and
beautiful.
I can solve that use case and present that as an article.
Amazing.
So a lot of people ask, so how exactly you are getting this thought process?
Mm,
It's kind of effort, like almost 12 years. I started and I build that muscle. Even if I'm walking, if I get some idea, and immediately I'm going to structure that, like this is how my technical blog post has to go.
mm,
And once I sit in front of the computer, I just structure the content like that.
wow.
So that's where the speed came, because of that consistent effort I'm doing.
Yeah. I think one of the big things that there are, again, some really key elements in that story from that very first moment of the idea. And just what I love about that very first moment, you said, I started it for me. And some of these very big successful projects that I've seen grow over time and grow over multiple decades really oftentimes didn't come for the public.
Yeah.
They really started with, I needed to create this for me. And then eventually I said, maybe I'll share this. And I realized, wait a minute, people on the outside are extracting more value than I had originally thought. And it built over time. And I
Yeah.
love how you even shared that over time you built that muscle, and that muscle turned into systems, into strategies. And not only did you grow, but the world and its support strategies that were available to you also grew simultaneously. So, someone getting into this kind of project today would probably have an easier time not realizing than you did at that time.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. Siva, I think that's amazing and that's commendable. Like a project, like sticking to a project for so long and creating value for others and never giving up. I think so many people give up. I know, and everybody who's been to the gym on the second week or third week of January understands this concept. So many people say, oh, they have so many good intentions, and all of a sudden they're no longer showing up. But it's like those consistent pieces of efforts where we are busy, life gets hard, life can get challenging, but we still show up to the projects that we love and give them, energy and consistent effort. That's what will grow over time.
Yeah, it's kind of a religious situation. Like if you are so religious, how
Mm,
every day you pray God,
yeah,
like, so you just go and pray God. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. So
so good.
any effort which goes religiously, that gives compound effect.
Mm,
So
mm,
that, like that consistent effort, by knowing or not knowing, I was doing it. If I look back my old articles published maybe 2013 almost, those were not great articles, even the English wise, because I'm not a native English, so my writing, grammatical mistakes, there are so many things. But I started imperfectly, and article by article it was like changing. And even when I go and read other people's presentations, other people's blog articles, oh okay, these people are presenting this way, maybe I can adapt something. It's all like getting the inspirations. And during this journey, not only myself, a lot of people inspired. Even in PLA, a lot of people inspired, and they started their writings.
yeah,
Because why a lot of coaches encourages us to write journals, morning pages, these things to declutter our brain,
yeah.
right? That brings the clarity in our thoughts. So for me, the technical skills, the clarity came because of these writings.
Yeah. I One thing that I keep thinking about is that very first piece of information of, I was committed to it religiously. And when we think like exactly how you shared, like how people pray to God, it's not for a destination. It's for the act of prayer every single day. So it's like when you were writing these blogs, I'm imagining you in that moment. You're just like, the goal is to write the blog today. It doesn't matter the destination, but naturally it grew into this beautiful thing. But it was about the act, staying present in just showing up and getting the act done.
Correct.
Wow. And I think so many people, that's maybe why so many projects fail. People are so like, they are on the hike because of the view instead of being on the hike for the hike.
Yeah.
So Siva, I would love to take you back in time and ask you a question I love to ask on this, I was going to say blog, on this PLA podcast. And really it is, what is one piece of advice you wish you had heard or knew at the beginning of your career, knowing everything you know now?
Yeah. One piece is essentially the team management.
Mm,
So beginning of my career, I was like thinking, okay, I am like tech savvy, so I'm going to sit and write the code.
mm,
And the kind of background, right, you come up with certain kind of school background, family background, where you grew up, which city, and even when you compare the kind of cultural differences, right, even in India there are rural backgrounds where the culturally we just be segregated in that particular area. So once you come out from that and move to a city for a job, so still your mindset will be like that, like going and talking to the people, you see the fear. So socializing is a different element for us, the people who study in the city versus the villages,
yeah.
countryside. So obviously you feel that kind of socializing skills we lack.
Mm,
So definitely I encourage people to go and talk,
mm,
because that's where you see the growth. It's not about how much you are doing sitting and writing the code, how much things you are doing it, but with the advancements of AI, nowadays everybody is skilled, I would say. So skill is not one
so
person's asset.
wow.
It's all like how you are dealing with the people by leveraging these tools.
Mm,
So I encourage everyone to be socializable, talk to the stakeholders, talk to the customers, talk to your teammates,
yeah.
and then create the value. So that is something, even maybe my architects and all they were telling it, Siva, you need to change and all, but still I was not taking that seriously. But once I completed 5 to 6 years of professional journey, that's when I realized the growth comes because you need to be like people, likable, right? You just go and
Yes.
talk to so many customers, all those things, that's when people will remember you.
Mm. Mm.
It's
So
kind
good.
of motivation, right? So as a leader you need to lead from the front.
Yeah.
And that's when, like, how much ever you do and sitting as an individual contributor, that is going to be a little impact.
Yeah.
But you make your team, like mentor your team, so that you are pulling the entire team as a one team, and you are achieving bigger results.
Mm. Wow. I knew this was going to be a good a good PLA podcast. Even just that clip was incredible. I think that so many of us are siloed in our own worlds, and we're sitting behind our own desk and are behind our own laptops and screens, and we're focused on our individual contribution. And you're right; it's when we come together in that group and realize that this team effort is going to get us far further than our individual contributions added up.
Yeah.
And so, how can we come together is through building those relationships. And you're right, people remember us for our relationships, for how we made people feel, not really for our technical skills or individual contributions.
Yeah.
Incredible. And I think, Siva, so many people get some good value of being reminded of that, because we get distracted oftentimes in, well, do I know enough? What am I contributing? What's happening on my to-do list versus, like, am I connecting with my team, my colleagues, my employees, my upper management, whatever that might be to the person. Amazing, incredible. Now I'd love to pull you a little further along that journey and story and ask you, what were the greatest challenges and the biggest lessons of your career, and how did you grow from them?
Yeah, the biggest challenges, as I said initially, I was not able to engage with customers, all those things, because of the communication skills. And I was in that situation where, okay, I'm just doing my job as an individual contributor.
Yeah.
But when I realized this is not the place where definitely we cannot grow if we are sitting like an individual contributor. So then I stepped up and took the role of technical lead architect. So that is when I was interacting with so many tough clients. And
Mm.
when I was working with a startup, obviously startup comes with budgeting issues, all those things. So we need to leverage a lot of interns, a lot of trainees to the team, and we need to start delivering with them. It's not like you get the well experienced people, so they just take the work and deliver it. So obviously when you are onboarding these people, so I was working as an architect in that startup, and I was having a team coming from various backgrounds and various experience levels and handling tough clients
Yes.
and managing the team as well as the project managers. So I was like a center of attraction during that particular situation. So the biggest challenges is aligning the team, making them to understand what project we are working, what value we are going to create out of this project, and arranging some trainings, grooming them so
Yeah.
that they can also start contributing to the project. So that is one of the challenge, and we overcame that challenges because the team. So I was not considering that as a challenge, because when you have younger team, one side you will feel that okay, they are not having much experience. The other side, they are having enormous energy,
Wow.
right? So if you capitalize that energy, you
Yeah.
can create wonders. So I just went to the other side. I saw the energy in them because they were
Mhm.
like fresh college graduates and like 23 24 years of
Wow.
age. So obviously they were not having a lot of family commitments, all those things. So the kind of work what we were having is we were working day and nights to deliver it because of the timelines. So these people stepped up and they were showing up every day and trying to deliver it. So that's the kind of energy I saw positive in them, and then I just leveraged that to bring these projects out. And then I was coordinating across the teams, clients, though the communication was a little difficult to go with the client because those clients were very tough in terms of expectations.
Yeah.
But these challenges I overcame because of the strong team I have.
That's incredible.
So
It really, yeah. What were you going to say, Siva?
yeah, so the kind of team what I had was very positive, and the kind of relationships I built during that team management. So even after 10 to 12 years, still those people are in touch. So those old relationships, right? So it's not like we are working in one place and then people will move to some other organizations. I came to some other organization, but still we are in touch. So you need to be likable leader. It's not like
Yeah.
transactional leader, right? There are two types of leaders: transformational leaders and transactional leaders. Transformational leaders are, you can remember them forever
Yeah.
and they will be always reachable. Transactional leaders, okay, I'm paying for this work, they delivered, we are done.
Wow.
So those people definitely nobody is not going to like to work with them. So I saw so many transformational leaders in my journey, and knowingly or unknowingly I just duplicated their characteristics when I am leading the teams. So that's how the challenges, everything in terms of team management deliverables, I could able to overcome.
Incredible. I think one of the biggest things is it creates loyalty.
Yep.
Those relationships are really built on loyalty. And I loved that you said, a young team may not have the experience, but they have the energy.
Yep.
And it's such a question of perspective. So many times we are overly focused on what's missing and overlooking what's available to us. And this
Correct.
story just highlights this. And like, I just want to take a moment and pause to anybody listening to this podcast and to ask themselves, what assets am I overlooking while I'm overly focused on the things that are going wrong, the things that are missing, the frustrations that are on my plate or on my team or in my projects right now? Because there's definitely something there. And I love the story that you shared. And it goes to show that that kind of team cohesion, when we're on the same, like when we're on the same page and a team feels a sense of loyalty, but not like loyalty in some ways is the result, but more than anything, the team feels valued.
Yep.
Once the team feels valued, then you get a sense of loyalty that may actually outlive the project, like you shared, and that you guys are still in contact today.
Yeah. So the moment, if you are giving value to the team and team perspectives, they get motivated.
Yeah.
If you are transactional leader,
Yeah.
so they won't get motivated. They also think that, okay, this is the piece of work I am working, my work is done.
Mm.
But once they motivated because we are giving value to them, they go beyond.
Yeah.
Once their work is done, they are going to sit with others to help them. So that is what the team culture, right? You are not going to work in silos, rather the team has to help each other win as a one team or fail as a one team. So one team culture is always makes the difference.
Yeah. I think,
And
yes, go for it.
recently, once I read this The Gap and the Gain book by
Yes.
Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy. So most of the times when you think in a gap mindset, you are going to see only the negative
Yeah.
aspects.
Yeah.
If you think with the gain mindset, everything is positive. So that is what maybe I looked at my team. So when you look at the younger team with the gap mindset, you will see that, okay, they don't have experience. With the gain mindset, if you look at them, you will see, okay, they have energy, let me capitalize that.
Incredible. Incredible. Siva, this is already such a valuable conversation. And like I'm sure so many people are already like taking notes and taking and having some reflective moments of asking themselves where are they at on their journey, and the way they're showing up on their teams and in their teams, is it really actually serving the greater purpose of what's trying to get done, that thinks further past these results. I'd be curious. I know the big buzzword recently has been this whole piece on AI, and the change that it's created already, the change it will continue to create. I'd love to get your perspective on how you see AI either shifting or changing the industry, etc.
Yeah, obviously there are so many changes are going to happen, are happening right now. And the advancements in AI is happening so fast compared to the other advancements what we have seen. So the industries are going to change. That is when in one of the my technical blog article I clearly explained. So whenever the transformations are happening, so it's not only the first transformation we are seeing, there are a couple of industrial transformations we have seen. So people adopted those industrial transformations. So every innovation brings some change in the world. For example, electricity, it changed the world the way we work.
Yeah.
Steam engines changed. So every technology revolution is going to change the way we work. In that revolution, a lot of people are going to adapt the change, and they go through in that journey. And
Mm.
some people may not adapt, so they will be like thrown out of that particular transformation, and they just go into their own way, right? So this adaptation is going to be there in our genes itself. It's not like we are going to reinvent now just because of AI. It is already there, because we are seeing 4 seasons. Our body and our mind is adapting for those 4 seasons, knowingly or unknowingly. The entire uh, world is adapting to those 4 seasons. And then we have seen so many technical revolutions, and AI is also one of the revolution. So a lot of people are telling, okay, jobs we are going to lose, everything is going to be like automated, everything is with machines. So world doesn't work that way, right? So there are people, there are economies, countries runs with that economies, right? So obviously the economy, when the economy is flourishing in the world, that means people are going to get money,
Mm.
and people has to pay taxes. Some people are going to produce the food, some people are going to consume it. So that's how the world runs. It's not just one person is having the entire money and everything is automated with machines, so he is going to rule. So that is not going to work. So all these fears, whoever is having that AI is going to take away our jobs, AI is not going to take away our jobs. It is going to transform the way we work. Maybe in a better way we are going to work. So for that transformation, we also need to transform. We need to learn those
Mm.
techniques and tools and start leveraging it.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's what is happening, right? Earlier, when we were preparing any presentation, so we were writing the content, everything. Now we are getting a lot of help from AI tools. You take it
Mm,
and see how it works and fine tweak it. So your work is actually uplifted because of this technology.
mm,
And consider that as a bliss rather than disguise. So always technology, you need to think that way. And a lot of unknown diseases are going to be discovered because of AI,
mhm,
because AI is going to understand a lot of data which humans are not able to understand,
mm,
or they don't have time to understand, because our power is very limited
mm.
compared to the machines.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing a lot of good things, because some moms are having some kids with like different diseases, and doctors were not able to diagnose, but they were struggling.
Wow.
But mom is mom, so they were not giving up. So what they did is they uploaded these reports, diagnostic reports, everything to chat gpt,
Yeah.
and they found out what is the root cause.
Wow.
So those things, when you hear those things, so obviously it is going to work for humanity.
Mm.
And then she took the same results, chat gpt results, to the doctors, and then doctors thought through in that direction, and they thought, yes, this is what the root cause, we could not able to find out, AI is able to figure out this is the problem. And then they started treatment.
Incredible.
So those changes definitely will come
Mm.
because of the enormous power we get it. So obviously every technology comes with double edged, so
Yeah.
you can consider double edged sword, right? Some people are going to use in a wrong direction.
Yeah.
So that's when they say deep fake videos, so you don't know who is using it, and
Yeah.
authentication failures. So obviously we need to come up with certain solutions.
Hmm.
So every technology comes with that,
Mm.
good and bad,
Yeah.
and we need to see good. So when you look at only the bad, then we start questioning the technology. But
Absolutely.
whatever it is, the revolution doesn't stop, it just goes. And when it goes to a certain extent where it is going to harm the humanity,
Mm.
obviously governments are going to think and they will try to control it.
Yeah.
So certain things may go if we are not controlling it. So that's when certain projects, in if you look at certain projects, government stopped it. Okay, don't do it, it is going to harm us.
Wow. Yeah. Absolutely. I think there's a really big theme throughout today's podcast that has been there that I want to highlight. It's our relationships to transformation and adaptability.
Correct.
You know, we cannot change change. We cannot stop change. Change is the one constant in time. And so we have a choice. Our relationship to change is actually what's going to determine the value that we will extract from it and how much ease we will have with that process. The more we resist change, which is inevitable, really, the more difficult we will make it on ourselves with something that is truly unavoidable.
Correct.
And so, Siva, I want to ask you my last question of the day is really what are you excited about for the future? What are you looking forward to? And anything that's ahead on the path that you're thinking, oh, that is something that excites me?
Yeah, I think two major technical revolutions, AI and quantum computing, these are going to change the kind of technology we have in our hand. Obviously, there will be a lot of challenges with this transformations. Even quantum computing, which gives a lot of power to the people. So obviously, when you have power, if you don't use that responsibly, the consequences are going to be more.
Mm,
So quantum computing is one of the things which changes the entire world, and that is also picking up. And if that comes, that power, that quantum computing power comes to the normal persons to use it, then obviously hackings, everything is going to be changed, because the passwords we have, the cryptographic algorithms we have, everything is going to break. So we need to change everything.
mm,
So but at the same time we are going to have a lot of positivities. So our genetical things still we could not able to analyze because of the computing power what we have. But a lot of people are thinking with quantum computing we can solve the hidden things in our genetics.
mm,
So we are able to discover a lot of new diseases and new vaccines for those diseases, so that we can provide better preventary solutions, like how we get generally vaccines when we grow, right, 5 years, 10 years, like that, so that those are like preventive vaccinations, so that we won't get those problems later in our old age or younger age. So those kind of things people identified and they came up with that. So once we start understanding our genetics, then we can understand the positive problems we face, and then we can start producing the vaccines. So these things are like humanity aspect.
Mm,
That's where people are thinking our maybe longevity of our life is going to increase because of these technical revolutions. At the same time, there are challenges.
mm,
People may misutilize that. So I'm very excited how the world is going to be. And the formal education, what we did in this generation, may not applicable for the upcoming generations,
yeah.
because now itself everybody, like everyone is leveraging AI. So it's kind of English became the new computing language, right? Earlier we used to learn C++, Java, different languages to interact with
Yes.
the computers.
Mm,
But now, because of advancements with AI, we are just using English. You properly ask and then get the results. So English became a new language to interact with any machinery or systems. So that is going to become, that makes this computing power to reach to larger audience,
incredible.
not only technical people.
Wow.
So the education system is going to, I think it is going to impact even like down the line. I don't think college degrees, whatever we have today, is going to exist. They also need to change it. So these things, when I look at my kids,
Mm,
what they are studying, so by the time they reach to college, so the education system is going to change. The world is going to change with advancements of AI, the way we are producing the food and all. So now even rural India, a lot of people are leveraging AI to see the growth of the crops,
wow. Incredible.
and things are automated. Like
Mm,
earlier, like we got from our grandparents, right, this is how we need to grow the crops. But now they are using technology based on the environment, based on the soil, based on the growth, so the water, the kind of minerals, so it's automatically supplies. So real time they are monitoring the crop growth, and they are able to get better yield out of it.
mm,
So those things are also will improvise.
amazing.
So a lot of changes are going to come up across the industries.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Siva, thank you so much for everything that you've provided in terms of value and the things that we're looking forward to that are still coming, the changes that are still coming with AI and quantum computing, and even the applications that people have already been using with AI in the world. And I love how you mentioned that AI has, in some ways, leveraged the playing field for so many, even those that didn't have a technical or computing background, to be able to interact with technology at a whole other level.
Yeah.
Amazing. I just wanted to take a moment. Amazing, Siva. So I was curious. I wanted to ask you a final question, actually. We've both been part of Personal Leadership Academy for quite a bit of time. You even longer than I have been. I'd be so curious. What was your experience in the last 6 months with PLA?
Yeah, with PLA, obviously it's been 1.5 year journey. So what I learned from PLA, and having that proximity of tribe, right? So we are all like-minded people. So that proximity always challenges the each individual. So people are achieving some goals. So obviously we get motivation, and then consistency, as our coaches always emphasizes. If you want to see the changes, it's not just getting the membership or anything. It's about showing up though the things are not going as expected. So everyone emphasizes this, but whoever follows that religiously, I would say, so even if you're not feeling well, I am not feeling well, just come forward and show up. Might not be very energetic, but showing up is very important. That brings consistency. So that consistency leads to compound effect.
Absolutely.
Any aspect, right? Even go to gym, do your business, or anything. So that is something I learned from PLA. And PLA these days, at least from last 6 months, introduced the belt system, right? So the belt system, they came up with four aspects. One is the leadership, communication skills, technical skills, and visibility. A lot of us we will be doing some kind of these things here and there, but PLA is enforcing us to do these things very consistently so that industry will recognize and we create our own brand, because everybody has a brand. When we look at that logo, we get that resemblance of that brand. So even individuals has that brand. So that is one thing. The second thing, it's not only transforming ourselves like as an individual. Like now, whatever the learnings I'm doing here, I'm discussing with my family members and my kids. And in fact, my uh, elder kid who is doing sixth grade right now, during summer holidays, she read The Compound Effect. So that is because of PLA. Otherwise, I don't even know that book exists. But because of PLA, I read that book, and that book emphasizes this consistency for a longer period to get a compound effect. Anything, right? Even our 401k, why we save the money for longer period, because for retirement it grows. And gym, every day if you go for 10 years, obviously that becomes habit and your body will change. Anything you do for a prolonged period of time consistently, you will see the change. That's where I encouraged my daughter to read that book. And I asked her, don't read any other book, just read the same book again and again, because you will realize at that younger age what is consistency, and what, like, one or two aspects, if you pick up that consistency, that's it, your life is going to change. So those kind of things. So PLA, because of PLA, I'm learning here and again showcasing that to my family. So it's kind of entire package where we are transforming.
Absolutely. And I think there's so much value in what you're sharing, Siva, in this piece of, so many of us are transforming in one aspect of our life, but haven't found a place that actually affects so many different facets of our life. Because when all facets of our life starts to transform, we start to transform at the core, our true identity, wherever we go. And I think there's so much value when, our kids start to transform and we start to see the effects on them. There's nothing like it, truly.
Yep.
Amazing. Siva, it was so lovely to have you on the PLA podcast. If anyone is curious about PLA, we host a free webinar and trainings regularly. Please have a look at the Personal Leadership Academy on LinkedIn. You'll be able to find a link directly there. And we'll talk so soon. Thank you again for your time, Siva.
Yeah. Thank you, Dunia. Thanks for your time.
It's been beautiful to have you on here. And to everyone, we will see you all next for the next PLA podcast. Have a beautiful day.